gozaimasu, shredheads, and welcome to Questions and Comments 11. You may be wondering what happened to the Q&A title of this, and it's because questions alone are just too limiting. And so I thought, why not just call this Questions and Comments, where I respond to questions and comments, because your comments are so beautiful to me. I love them so much. I love seeing your comments. And while I'm on the subject, leave a comment down below or a question, whatever you want. Do whatever you want and put it down below. I want to see them, and it will be on the next Q&C. Yes, Q&C. Almost said Q&A. Got to update this sticker here, but we're going to go ahead with Questions and Comments Q&C Thursdays. The first comment is by Paul Henderson, and he says, "There's no end to guitar mastery. Think of it as the universe, or masters of the universe." Laughing my LMFAO. We gotta keep it clean here for the kids. Even Satch and Vi still learn. I think they both even said that. And this is such a beautiful comment to me. And this is the My Dream of Becoming a Guitar Virtuoso video. And I think this is such a great comment because guitar really is a journey. Like, I didn't expect it to be such a journey when I first started guitar. When I first started guitar, I just wanted it to be something that I could grasp onto and be good at, you know. It was just really inspiring me to hear Eddie Van Halen, Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, all of these big heroes of mine, and trying to emulate them as much as possible. And through the years, though, and the decades, it has just kind of morphed into this kind of consistent habit and this consistent ritual, and just trying to improve every day and every year, and it really becomes part of you. It's a consistent process that I really like about it, and it's neat to see these small incremental changes in your own playing. And I think not only that, you get these aha moments, and I think it builds a lot of character when you try to tackle something as difficult as guitar or just any challenge in life. I think that's part of the whole hero's journey thing. If you ever look into Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, I think it's really interesting. It's about taking on life itself and taking on very challenging aspects of life, and guitar is a very challenging thing, just mastery of any kind, really. And that sort of mastery will help refine you through the years and make you a better person as well as a better craftsman. And I think that's where guitar lies. It seems easy on paper, but it takes a lot out of you to become a lot better at it, and it will challenge you not only physically with playing, but it will challenge you mentally and spiritually as well. And I think anybody picking up guitar is going to benefit from playing long term and trying to become better as a guitarist. And I think you're going to become a better human just because you don't run away from the challenge. It's hard to be philosophical when your brain's not working with you. But let's move on to the second comment. Luke Offfield writes, "Living and playing in Japan has long been a dream of mine. I've traveled to many parts of the world, but have never really fully committed in a way where I could actually live somewhere else. I hope you can make it a reality. Interacting with people in other countries is wonderful and enriching, let alone being able to make music in those different environments." And this from the 2 Q&As ago, number 9. And I have to agree. There's some kind of like magnetic pull when it comes to trying out the whole world and just moving around and seeing the cultures and seeing the different types of music and how people live when you grow up in one area of your life and you stay there for a very long time, you kind of isolated in a bubble. I know the internet exists and you can see all different types of walks of life and how different things happen on the internet, but it's very different when you go to the environment yourself and you become part of the environment. And a lot of people don't like to think that they are a product of their environment, but and I'm no exception. I like to think of myself as just an individual. I had to get that out. I try to think of myself too as an individual, and I can't be influenced by my environment. I have the willpower of the gods, all this stuff, but in the end, you really are a product of your environment. Sadly, what I have learned, I'm not sure why I'm moving this up. I don't have to play guitar right now, but you are a product of your environment, and that's one big thing I learned through the years. And I think by traveling to different places and living there for a long enough time, or even just visiting, you kind of get into the culture. It's almost like changing workplaces. You're doing these different rituals at different workplaces, and you're working with different people, and you're starting to grasp onto their mannerisms as well when you're working with these people, as well as a lot of their beliefs. And it's just something that happens. It's just a human thing to try to fit in a bit more. And I think living in a different culture and a different country is a cool way to just experiment with yourself and see, like, maybe there's different ways of thinking and different ways of living that will suit you better. And I think traveling the world is a cool way to see that. And if you have the cash, or if you don't and you want a budget, do it. Just do it. Get out there and fly. Okay, the next comment is by Aquarium Life 29. And this is on the Does the Joyo Phaser Sound Good video. And it says, sounds good all right, but it's cheap as it can be. Mine came defective after 30-day wait to arrive. Cheap crap, don't last. Don't fall for this trap. There's some good rhyming there, and I'm spitting all over my laptop. Hopefully it doesn't burn out. And thank you for the comment, and thank you for the insight, because a lot of these pedals I buy these pedals, and then I play them on my videos, and honestly there's very few pedals that I just consistently come back to and play every single day. But it's hard to give a long-term answer for a lot of these things, because I can't consistently play them every day. And then, well, I can, but it's not practical for me. The only stuff I play consistently is the stuff that I really, really like a lot. Like every day I played the Orange Crush 12. I like it a lot. I bought the Eddie Van Halen Wah. Recently I'm going to do a review on that, and that thing is freaking awesome. I might be playing that more. But just the stuff that I really like, I just play consistently. But the Joyo Phaser it's good, but I don't play it all the time. And it's good to have people tell me if it's crap long term or not. And apparently to him it hasn't worked. I'm not exactly sure if it's the best buy long term. With my experience with the Joyo pedals, I haven't had any problems with any of them yet. So let's move on to the next one. It's really an individual thing. Luke Offfield, again, this is an awesome question. It's probably my favorite question of the week. Not question, but comment. And this is on my dream of becoming a guitar virtuoso video, real personalized video. I wanted to do it for you guys. I thought a lot of you guys probably have the same aspirations I do, and it's really cool to see a lot of you guys just share your stories in that video. Thank you so much. This Luke Offfield, I totally follow you on these notions. I started when I was 15, 44 now. I know I could be better, but the guitar doesn't care. It's there for you no matter your skill level. Improving upon your abilities is a great understanding. However, being happy with your strong suits and expanding your natural tendencies as a guitarist is admirable as well. Becoming your own person as a guitarist is difficult. It's hard not to consistently compare yourself to what you've heard others do in the past. You pretty much hit the main point though. Be the best you that you can be. People will feel your passion. Like Santana said, if your heart is not in every single note, then you can't expect anyone else to put their hearts into it either. This is one of my favorite comments I've ever had on my channel. It's really, really good. There's so much about it that just hits me at the core. And I think the biggest thing is that, like I said earlier, guitar is a journey. It's a very difficult journey, and honestly, you want your journey to have challenges so you can become a better person and grow as a person and as a guitarist. And I think finding your own sound and finding what you're good at is a huge aha moment, especially for me. Lately, for the last couple decades, I've been trying to play things that are just not great for me, like legato. Legato is a huge thing for me. There's a lot of legato things that I can play that are just really natural for me, but in general, I find myself to be better staccato player, especially when it comes to scales, than it is legato. I've tried so hard to get that Joe Satriani, Steve Vai legato type of thing going on, but they're just so naturally good at it. But I do my best with legato, but staccato is my thing, more or less. And you just have to find what your natural strengths are. And I think that's what a big thing about discovering your own sound is. It's like, what can I do well? What is the most efficient way that I can play? What can I do well? What can't I do well? And then you optimize for what you can do and just push on your strengths. And as for the weaknesses, it's hard. I want to say keep working on your weaknesses, but if it's not working for you functionally, like if you can't play sweep arpeggios, jamming or improvising, move on, try something else. Try doing sweep pentatonics or something. If you can't sweep at all, don't sweep. Eddie Van Halen never swept, and he sounds like a god on guitar. And I think that's a huge part of finding your own voice on guitar. And it's easy to compare yourself to others. It's too easy, honestly, and it's very, very hard. I find it's much more rewarding if you just focus on yourself. If you just focus on yourself and you just try to make those incremental changes as you go along, and just try to make those small, like RPG plus 10 point, plus 1 point, plus 10 skill abilities to sweep arpeggios or scales or something. Just do it like that. Just reward yourself when you hit the small victories. That's what I find the best. There's stuff I can play now that it's taken me decades to learn, that I've just learned this year. It's crazy. I had to like sit down and really come up with a brand new way of practicing and a brand new way of like looking at my own guitar playing and analyzing it and seeing like what is actually going to work. Let's throw all the crap out and let's just start from scratch. Let's do what works and let's throw away all the crap that doesn't work. And that's what has helped me this year. Just make some great progress in my own playing, and I think that will help you out a lot. And it is very, very rewarding just to play guitar, honestly. Just having the guitar and making those improvements is big. Okay, and the next one is from Garrett, none. When I, this is on Does the Zoom 707 Sound Good video, and he says, when I used to gig with a band, I use this pedal all the time. It is more than a practice pedal. I find this this type of comment happening a lot in my comment section. I call things practice things because I honestly think they work better for practice, but that's my opinion. And if you're using this as a gigging thing and it works for you, go for it. But I have personally never had an experience with a modeler that sounded good live. Like I want it to happen. When I was in a band, I used to try dozens of modelers out, and they never pushed the air enough for me to be like, this is great. The closest I got was using the effects like delay or chorus or any of that stuff through like the effects loop, and then you're still using the amp distortion. That works. But for me personally, using the distortion of one of these modelers live has just always been very, very flat sounding. And if you can do it, more power to you. I like the sound of modelers. I use modelers every day. I use them especially for practicing and recording with VSTs. And I think they sound great on low volume. But when it comes to like playing a real gig and pushing air, it's just never been my thing. Honestly, I'm hoping one day I can find something that works, like modeling wise, live. But I haven't found it, or I'm just not the smartest guy in the world and I can't figure out how to do it. I don't know. But I want to congratulate you for getting it to work. If it works for you, go for it. It's cool to see different opinions in the comments, and so that the people that are coming to my videos can get a nice holistic view of what these pedals and what this gear is all about. Thank you so much for commenting. The next one, Eric Moyna. Eric Moyna. And this is the Marshall G15R. Good. That was a cool little old school amp. Been trying to help a friend who is a starter guitarist and plays metal find a better amp than a Line 6. I saw this amp on Craigslist, and I know that Marshalls sound good, but I wasn't sure about an amp like this capabilities, but this review has really helped me. I'm so glad I could help you out. I try my best to be as honest as possible when it comes to the reviews, and I think this amp will help out your friend a lot. The Line 6 amps, I think, just like I said earlier, Line 6, they're modeling amps. They sound great practicing, and you could probably record with them and they'll sound pretty good. But when it comes to live applications, you want an amp that pushes air, and this thing pushes air because it's an old school analog amp, and it's good for jamming with other people, and I think that's what it really does. And it has a good sound to it as well. The one drawback of the Marshall G15R is that there's no switch from clean to dirty. So if you want to do the super dirty stuff exclusively, it will work. Or if you want to go super clean exclusively, it will work. Or if you want to do the old school boomer thing and just dial down your volume on your guitar itself and get that kind of slightly crunched clean to it, you can do that too. That's a good way to go. It gives you more characteristics when you play the guitar. But anyway, great comment. I think that amp will work really well for your friend, especially if he's just a heavy metal enthusiast. Okay, we got number 7 right here, the DD Files. This is on the My Dream of Becoming a Guitar Virtuoso video. Gotta emphasize, I have the dream too, man. I can relate. Good stuff, man. Have a good day. The DD Files, he's got a great YouTube channel. He just puts out stuff. He just jams and he makes music, and he really makes it happen. And he's a consistent member on my YouTube channel, and I love seeing his face every single time I make a video. But I think a lot of people, myself included, that's why I made the video, have this dream, and a lot of these guys are on YouTube trying to make those dreams come true, because honestly, YouTube is where music is at nowadays. The industry has changed, and it is a different beast altogether. And you know, we're all in this together, and we're just working towards our dreams. And I said to him, just keep going, man, just keep going. We're all in this together. We're gonna make it, man. We're gonna make it. Keep the dream alive. The pursuit of the dream is actually more important than the goal, because in my experience from goals, every time you reach a goal, like, it's great to have goals, but you're always like, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? What's the next thing when you hit that goal? But the pursuit itself on the way to the goal is the most exciting thing. You're like, I'm gonna do this small thing today and see this small change in a week, in a month, in a year, and it's gonna be, it's just so rewarding to just improve, in my opinion. I'm a junkie for improvement, I guess. I don't know. It's just baked into my DNA. But enjoy the journey. Okay, number 8, Paul Mattel. Paul Mattel. I have an early model. Okay, this is on the Does the Dean Vendetta Sound Good video. I have an early model of this same guitar in satin finish. I want to get a better clean sound from it. Have you tried Tone Rider pups? That was a suggestion for a pup that doesn't cost more than the guitar itself. And I've never tried them out, but I think changing the pickups on this guitar would help out quite a bit. I think the pickups are pretty decent. They're like basic. They're very basic sounding, but I think they're decent for what they are. If I were to go the cheap route, I usually go, you probably have, I can't say for sure if Tone Rider pickups are good or not, but it's worth a try. But if it were me personally, I would just go on eBay and buy a cheap DiMarzio, like a used one, or a used Seymour Duncan. I've never had any problems with used pickups. I buy almost all my pedals used as well, and there's very few problems I have with them, except for the EVHY I recently got. Like, it is super loose, and somebody stripped the bolt in the back, but it's still really good for what it is. And so you kind of have to, you know, weigh your options more or less. Okay, the next one, Q&A. Number 9. I gotta quit calling them questions if they're not questions. Okay. As soon as I saw, this is from Heavenly on the Digitech Whammy pedal review. As soon as I saw the Magma vinyl hanging up, Magma vinyl appear, I knew you knew what was up. Good luck with your channel, and thank you so much. Gojira is so amazing. There have been maybe, okay. I jumped the gun with that. I was gonna say they have been the best thing that happened for heavy metal in like the last decade, but I think back, and I think back of all the new bands I've listened to that I really like. A lot of the new bands I like are like Polyphia, Modern Day Babylon, Gojira, and a lot of these newer guys. Intervals are great. A lot of these guys are so freaking good. Like, they are just massive players, and Gojira just scratches that itch for just heavy, kind of smart, intelligent type of music that just really makes it interesting and fun to listen to. And Magma is such a great album. It is probably one of their more mainstream albums, but I just feel like it's so polished and well put together that it just really makes it this kind of big machine, like this big heavy machine that just sounds so good and interesting. Their older stuff is good too, but it's more it's more raw feeling. But I put all these albums up here so people who watch my videos can be like, oh, he's into this stuff. And then click off as soon as possible if they're not into it. They're like, oh, you like Steve Vai? Bye. But it also helps. It just helps with people, like filtering out people. Like I don't need a lot of blues guys coming in here and be like, oh, is he gonna play the blues? Is he gonna play the blues on this Mesa Boogie with EMGs? Yeah, I do play a bit of blues, but like it's not my thing, you know. I like the chugging and I like shredding. That's my thing. It's always been my thing. I love it so much. The next question, oh, and Gojira, fantastic. Thank you for the comment. The next question is from, I can't pronounce it. I don't know if this is Korean or not. I think it could possibly even be Japanese if it's kanji. I don't know. I can only do hiragana and katakana at the moment. It could be kanji. I don't know. It's possibly from some Asian language. That's what my best guess is. I could be wrong. Could be Middle Eastern. I don't know what it is. He says, "Great video. You deserve more views, man." And thank you so much. This is a great comment. And what I replied was, YouTube is such a skill. Like, it is like learning guitar. It is very much like learning guitar. You're not going to get it down in the first year you're playing. You're not going to master YouTube or just making media in general in the first year. I would equate it to guitar because most people I know who have played at least 5 years and have put the time in at least for 5 years are pretty good. And YouTube is definitely the same way. It is a completely, you have to learn how to not only make videos that are going to get views, you need to learn how to market yourself. You need to learn how to do production work. It's all encapsulating. I was encapsulating. Whatever word that fits that sentence, I don't know. I'm not the English master. But anyway, it is very rewarding like guitar, but it is very tough. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes you'll hit big and sometimes you'll hit, sometimes you'll lose big. It's a definite skill and you need to work on everything that encapsulates the YouTube sphere. But thank you so much for the comment, and I'm working on it every single day, like I'm working on the guitar. And like I said earlier, it's about the journey, not the destination. Because what if I'm a huge YouTuber like PewDiePie? Then I'll be like, what's next? What's next? What's next? That's the problem with goals. Goals are great, but you're like, what's next? What's next? And I think just grasping the apple, the crisp apple, yes, the crisp apple of life, and just biting into it, feeling that joy of biting into the apple and not finishing it, just enjoying the progress, enjoying every single day that you're making something is more. It's more rewarding than the goal itself. And anyway, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Clap, 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 clap. Yes.